What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's full-time reaction here from Dens after Dundee 3 Celtic 3. I've got Darren and Lee with me to go through. Lee, obviously a dramatic game, more than we bargained for, I think, tonight. If we take the first half, the start to the game was good. Scored a really good goal. Lovely ball in for Taylor. McCowan scores a brilliant header coming in at the back post, and we were cruising.
Yeah, I thought we were just talking there. I thought the first half we were okay. We started well. We were nice, quick on the attack. The movement was sharp, as you say. A wonderful header. I've seen the replay. And it was a beautiful header. And then we just kind of went into safe mode. And then they got the break for the counter off McGregor. And then the rest we can talk about. But it wasn't great in the second half.
No, it wasn't, Dan. I thought getting a goal for Dundee, getting equaliser just before half time, obviously gave them a lot of energy and confidence to come out in the second half. Just on the just before their goal, Paulo Bernardo has the header, and you think if that goes in at 2-0, he hits the bar, probably gives a totally different complexion to the game, and we might run out comfortable winners. But the Dundee goal in the counter attack is a good goal for their point of view. They move up the pitch quick, they get the break off McGregor. Maybe Johnson can go and engage with the ball a wee bit earlier, but it really did change the game, that equaliser, didn't it?
Aye, we sort of hit the self-destruct button loads of times in that game. As Lee says, first half was, getting towards half time, the game was a bit slow, and you felt that it was always going to go to 1-0 at half time or 2-0 to us, like he says, we hit the bar and stuff. But then to have a corner from our side and then 10 seconds later the ball's in the back of your net, it's not really acceptable for a team like us, and where our defence is so good, you don't really expect that. And then, second half's full ups and downs. Obviously, we take the lead. Jan gets a scrappy goal, and we're thinking, right, we're back in front again. Let's just maintain that. But again, we just hit the architects of our own downfall there. Trusty, for me, I love Trusty. I think he's better than Liam Scales, and he's a natural left-sided player. But he's got to do so much better in that situation. Simon Murray just bullies him. I don't know if he doesn't know that he's there, but he just gives him that wee shoulder. And then, obviously, it's a bit of luck as well, because it's coming off Carter Vickers, who didn't have the best game either. But it just gives them encouragement, and you're looking for a wee bit of response there. Dundee fans were obviously jubilant that they're back in the game, but I just felt like they pressed us more, they wanted it a wee bit more, and getting corners as well, and like smothering the goalkeeper, and they just felt like a chance was going to come from them. They had free kicks at the edge of the box, they were pestering us, and we were getting nothing back. And then obviously the third goal comes, and for me, I just felt I seen nothing coming from our end. I just felt it was going to be that. We're obviously turning to guys like Palmer, who we know at times just isn't that kind of player. Guys like even Hatate and Kuhn coming off. Kuhn, I thought Kuhn made a bit of an impact. He was definitely an improvement. And then you move Kyogo into the middle. Adamida, he was anonymous again today, and seen him walking down the tunnel, which you said to me he's done a few times. I don't know what that's for, but he just looks like a guy that's got absolutely no confidence. And then Kyogo, who I thought was all right on the right hand side, putting in good crosses, showing for the ball, taking his man on. And then you move him into the middle and he just becomes completely invisible. But Kuhn obviously made an impact. Him and Johnson just had a few misplaced passes where they could have got to the byline, put a ball in, and then we just huffed and puffed a wee bit. And it's a bit of mixed emotions. Obviously, we're happy that we got a penalty in the last minute equaliser, but for me, I'm a bit frustrated just at the way we conceded those goals, in particular the second one. For me, I'm really angry at Trusty for that, and then conceding a goal from the corner and a goal from a counter attack like that. Just want to move on for that.
It was a poor night. Lee. I think the second half, obviously, as Darren says, we get back in front and you think, right, just control the game again now. Try and look for another goal to seal it, but immediately we've conceded. And Darren's right, it's a really poor goal from our point of view. Trusty goes out to the touchline and he just gets shoved off the ball. I thought he had a nightmare, straight for the word go tonight. He had obviously a couple of shaky moments in the ball in the first half. He's letting some long balls bounce, misjudging things. He had an absolute nightmare, and just after that second equaliser for Dundee, we looked battled for a long period.
You could see it happening in the first half. We said in the first half watching Trusty that he looked a bit shaky, a couple of his passes went astray. You could just see it coming, but Simon Murray played him well, and they had two boys around off the scraps as well. Like Darren was saying, second half we just self-destructed. We got deeper and deeper, we let them onto us, and we just couldn't get out. Usually Celtic are good enough to play through the lines and get round them, and they didn't even think about it. It was all pinned in the corners. They were going direct in each corner. We couldn't get out. I just couldn't believe what I was watching at times in that second half. And Rodgers made a sort of like-for-like substitutions. Like we say, Kuhn did make an impact when he came on. But you were talking earlier before we came on that Kyogo moved into the middle, and then everything was just so compact. We reverted back to what we've kind of been seeing the last few weeks, with trying to get the ball wide and no end product. And great to get away with a point, but I didn't see it coming in the last 5-10. You just thought we were beaten.
Aye, it was starting to look like that. Darren, I thought if you go back to that first half, first 40 minutes, we're controlling the game, almost going through the motions a wee bit, and a bit of a lull, and then we get hit on the counter. And I think Dundee obviously sensed that in the second half they could come out and have a go at us. They pressed us high up the pitch, they were aggressive, and we've touched on it already, we looked battled. Do you think there's a bit of that where we've just played ourselves into a wee bit of a lull, and then Dundee have come out like that second half and we've just looked a bit shell-shocked?
It was a bit of a shock to the system, like we touched on by earlier points. It was a very slow game towards a half-time. Typically when you get a goal very early on, you don't really see much action in terms of end-to-end stuff, and then the goal comes at such a surprise. I already touched on like how poor it was to concede for a counter-attack, and it's almost like, it's a cliche, but it's a perfect time for Dundee to score. Let's them go into the dressing room, the manager give them a bit of encouragement, but coming back out in the second half, I thought we were actually playing all right again. Just like, right, start again, let's get another goal, get in front. But it was almost just a bit to and fro, and you expected just a bit more resilience for the team. You get Trusty and Carter Vickers there, who are definitely Celtic's best defensive partnership. We've been so reliable this season. Get into before the Rangers game, conceding 4 goals domestically. Now we conceded 3 against Rangers, 3 tonight, and 3 against Rangers in the cup final. We're letting in far too many goals. And not to say there's an issue there. Obviously, we're transitioning now from Trusty playing a handful of games, then having a bad performance, Liam Scales coming in, having a bad performance at Ibrox, and Trusty coming in. And typically throughout the season you try and stick with the same back two, and for me it's always got to be Trusty and Carter Vickers. But right just now, well, at the start of the season, for the first couple of months, we're keeping clean sheets pretty much every single game. Now obviously we conceded a goal against Ross County. It was a penalty. It was a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we just need to be a bit more defensively anyway, a bit more solid, because you're coming here at Dundee and you're scoring 3 goals. Normally 9 times out of 10 you're walking away thinking you've won the game because you've scored 3 goals. That should be enough. But you need to be a bit more resilient at the back, especially away from home.
Lee, that's the problem, and I think there's just a wee bit of vulnerability there just now, and I think people look at that tonight and say you can put Celtic under pressure when you come out and you're aggressive and you get against them. Even in the second half, McGregor really struggled to get a hold of things. We were just all over the place in midfield at times. That's a wee bit of a concern, isn't it? Do you put that down? Would you put that down to? Is it just the number of games we've played, that maybe the position we're in, and a bit of subconscious switch off? Or?
I wouldn't like to think it's the resting on their laurels. I wouldn't think it'd be anything like that. I know he did talk about the 14 points thing with Rangers game, but I just think it was a bit more of Dundee, like you said, at half time, got a lift from the goal, and then we were architects of our own sort of every pass that went astray. It was just so scrappy. I would have just liked to have seen, even for 5-10 minutes, dropping someone in beside McGregor just to shore it up and just calm it down and start moving the ball again. But we just couldn't get out. That's what I took from it. We just couldn't get out, and they were on us. They had 4 up right across the top line. And they played it well, but we just didn't find a way to pass around it and move up the park like they did for their counter-attack goal.
Aye, they did, and we lose obviously the third goal for the corner. Again, it's Trusty's man. He looks like he's too focused on trying to hold him. His body position doesn't look right to me. Facing a ball coming in there, he's too worried about the man, and then he doesn't do it anywhere near enough to stop it. I know he gets a stamp before the ball comes in, but again, it's poor defensively from us, and I just thought, after that, could we find another way through? The subs, a lot of subs in the game we've touched on already. I thought Valle was poor when he came on, quite uncharacteristically actually. Even some of his passing at times was really poor. Engel struggled to impact the game in open play. A couple of wayward shots he had. Just really struggled towards the end, didn't he?
We even struggled just to get out our own half, and I was a bit surprised at how much Dundee smothered us. Obviously we are renowned for playing it for the back, and then typically we try and work it to the wide areas, and you've got Johnson there, he's got Kuhn, he's got the left back touch tight to him. In the middle he's got Engels, McGregor and Hatate, who have also got touch tight. That centre of the pitch was just so overloaded, and sometimes I'm thinking, okay, let's just go long, but who are you going to go long to? You've got Kyogo there, and a lot of times sometimes we went long right through the middle, and I didn't see Kyogo. He's almost on the left hand side sometimes.
Drifting, yeah.
Aye, and then even if you do put a long ball with Kyogo, he's not going to win it because he's got a big 6-foot defender on his shoulders. So it almost felt like there should have been some sort of change to the system at some point when you realised it wasn't working. Maybe at 2-2 when Dundee were getting that momentum, they were pressing us, they were getting free kicks at the edge of the box, they were getting corners. Surely the manager must say, right, a wee tweak to the system, not a huge tweak, just a wee tweak to the system. Obviously taking Edo off, you can't go 2 up front. I was also a bit surprised that at 2 each, it decides to take a left back off. I thought Greg Taylor actually had an alright game. Beautiful assist for the goal. why you need to take him off? I know it's kind of like fair to Valle to give him his chance because Valle's done nothing wrong. But when the game's in the balance, you don't make subs in defence.
Would that be something Rodgers you'd be critical of, that it's sometimes like for like, and that you don't see a system change in it? You know, I'm not sitting here with my coaching badges, but sometimes it, like the Taylor one, Valle just looked like, unless he was injured, which it didn't look like, it was just a like for like. Hatate, Engels, like for like, didn't really change the game much. Kuhn was the only one that really changed the game, but like Darren said, it was so suffocated. Sometimes you think you need to change the game and change the system a little bit, maybe throw an extra man forward, or but yeah, just kind of all went into the middle at the end.
Yeah, Kuhn gets inside, gets a shot away, handball for the penalty. Engel sticks it away, and you're just looking Lee for the last 90 seconds. Can we get the ball back and get another attack? But
And we did. We had an opportunity. It was you're just throwing your head in your hands because it wasn't the right ball. But yeah, it was just a couple of times in the box at the end, even before the penalty, that just rushing things a little bit. There was a couple of cutbacks, people weren't in the right position. Yeah, it was just a kind of bit unsurprising for a Celtic team going forward anyway.
Aye. Darren, I suppose the big positive is that we salvaged the draw and we didn't get a beating tonight.
I suppose it's a saving grace. Obviously, we're only league defeat in this season's been against our rivals, and you know, actually since that game we've stretched for advantage. I think what's it now, 15?
It will be 16 now.
16 now, and they've got a game in hand. So realistically, it could be 14. Still a huge gap. They just need to get that out of their heads and move on to the next game. Obviously, they've got the Scottish Cup this week, so they can kind of put the league to one side for a wee bit and focus on a different competition. I don't know if the manager's going to maybe rotate the team. I know it's against Kilmarnock, who are a Premiership team, so we can't make a hell of a lot of changes. And maybe just try some things out. I know he's been starting with 2 strikers recently. I would stick with that. I think it worked for a certain degree in the first half. Obviously, Kyogo playing out right. I just think there's something different there that Kyogo gives you. Obviously, when he plays up front, you get nothing in terms of him affecting the game. His only job is to put the ball in the back of the net.
He was more involved in the game in the first half, wasn't he?
This season he's certainly struggled to. Even he does well. I just think the way that we're playing this season, it just doesn't benefit strikers scoring that 25, 30 goals a season. So maybe that little change. Obviously, Kuhn's coming back now, so for me, Yang, especially on the left and right hand side, for me, he's not cutting it. I mean, I know you've got typically he's rolling the team's an impact player to come off the bench, but when you've got injuries, which you're going to get, especially when you're playing such a high demand of games, for Yang starting the game, it just kind of makes me look at it and go, seriously, he's not going to do anything. I know he got his goal today and it was a scrappy goal, but other than that, he's just not been effective whatsoever. I thought actually Palmer, I know he gets a lot of stick, I thought he was alright for his cameo. There's a little moment there, I think he took on 2 players and they got the byline outside of the foot cross. I think we nearly got a chance for it. Maybe a chance for him to redeem himself. I know he's got a long way to redeem himself, but just give him a chance because I don't see anything from Yang anyway.
He was linked to a move away, and I think Vaikanov pulled out now in that move for Palma. So maybe if Maida's not back, could it be Palma at the weekend maybe? Or
I think he might go with Palma at the weekend.
Kyogo on the left maybe?
Yeah, I mean, he's got options, definitely. I'd like to see them go and get someone in that area. There's been a few names mentioned, the boy in Sweden and the guy at Lazio again today. I think go and spend a bit of money and give us a bit of quality in there, because I think, like we're talking to the players that are coming in, like Yang and things like that, they're just not up to it. I was hopeful for him, but again he was getting brushed off the ball.
It's too weak, isn't it?
Darren said that as well, that when he gets in them great positions, there's no end product. Like, it's either no shot getting away or a cross, it's either going out for a corner or he has to come back. So I'd like to see us spend a bit of money in there, but yeah, I guess that Kuhn will get back in now and get a run, but we'll see. I think it's hard because you want to look at the bigger picture and say we've had a lot of games. I mean, we feel like we've been saying that the last few weeks a lot. It's been a game after game, so hopefully we'll settle down when it goes back to sort of weekends and the European game coming up. But yeah, we're in a good position, but we're still analysing the performance tonight. It wasn't quite there.
No, it was disappointing. There you go. That's it for full-time reaction here in Dundee. Like the video, give us your own thoughts on the game below. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next video. Cheers.